In 2 days, South Carolina is expected to reopen stores that have been closed for weeks.
And it is a controversial decision weighing public health and the health of our economy. First, let's take a look at coronavirus in South Carolina and the whirlwind executive orders to slow the spread. South Carolina had its first case on March 7th. Nearly a month later, on April 1st, the governor ordered the first non-essential businesses to close. He expanded that to clothing, furniture, and sporting goods stores on April 4th. Then he issued a stay-at-home order on the 6th. Now, on Tuesday, we could see some of those restrictions start to lift. Today, South Carolina confirmed 136 new cases of coronavirus, and some think that the new order is coming too early and will lead to more spread.
Channel 9's Aaron Edwards is live in Rock Hill, and Aaron, both sides think the other could seriously damage the state.
Phil and Genevieve, Charleston's newspaper is reporting that tomorrow, Governor Henry McMaster will announce a plan to open some stores like department stores and flea markets. He'll do that on Tuesday. And while some are happy to hear that news, others are thinking it's too soon. Music and bookstores, florists, flea markets, and department stores may be welcoming customers again in South Carolina as early as this week. Governor Henry McMaster tweeting last night, "Very productive call this afternoon with southeastern governors. We discussed each state's plan to safely get folks back into the workplace, told them South Carolina was ready."
I think it's good that we're getting things back open.
I don't really support it.
But neighbors have mixed feelings. Chris Brown says he's excited to have more options to shop, but worries it's too soon.
Until they have a better, understanding on what's going on and whether or not they're starting to contain, this virus, I think they should keep things in place the way they are.
But others say they're excited to see businesses opening, and they'd like Governor McMaster to add other non-essential stores to that list, like salons and gyms.
I think it's good because it's going to boost morale and people are going to be happier.
There's a petition circulating in South Carolina right now calling for lawmakers to open hair salons. Amy Howie's petition already has 500,000 signatures.
I feel like our industry needs to be recognized as a professional industry and deemed as an essential business.
But with the number of coronavirus cases still steady in South Carolina, many are asking why the governor is making this decision now.
I mean, it's not like all the cases are gone. There's still some, and with the stores opening back up, the cases are going to rise again.
When they reopen, stores are expected to limit occupancy to 20%, and beach accesses are also expected to reopen, but social distancing will still be enforced, and local government can make their own rules about waterway accesses. Genevieve?
All right, Aaron, a lot of back and forth on that issue. Aaron Edwards reporting live for us tonight. Aaron, thank you. So let's put a little perspective on Governor McMaster's expected reopening plan. Just this week, the White House released guidance for states to use in the reopening process. Before states can even consider a phased comeback, the guidelines recommend a downward trend of COVID-like cases and confirmed cases of the virus over a 14-day period. So we went back over daily numbers for the entire month of April and found that downward trend has not yet happened in South Carolina. In fact, there really is no trend in the numbers. They are all over the place. But we broke down the case-by-case totals by week, and we did find that this past week, for the first time, the number of weekly reported cases was actually down from the week before. This past week, 1,064 cases, down from 1,300 cases. Other key factors to reopen are testing and hospital capacity. Right now, it's not clear if South Carolina has the needed testing capacity, but projections from the University of Washington show they do have the hospital space. The same research suggests that current social distancing measures need to continue. June 1st could be a target to relax that date.
There's a new push to allow the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway next month. 5 state senators today called on Governor Cooper to allow NASCAR races at the Speedway without fans. Florida already started doing this, and other states are expected to follow. In a statement, Charlotte Motor Speedway said they want to run the Coca-Cola 600 with fans as planned, but they understand these are unprecedented times. They're working with the governor to find a way to allow race teams and fans to enjoy the track once again. Governor Cooper's office told our partners at the Charlotte Business Journal that he's talking with track and team owners about how to potentially restart racing. They say it's too soon to predict specific decisions, but the plan would prioritize public health. Governor Cooper would have to amend his executive order to allow racing even without fans at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Police cited 3 more Charlotte businesses for violating this stay-at-home order. One was at the Michaels on Ray Road. The other 2 were at smoke shops. CMPD said in all 3 cases, officers tried to educate the employees and were given a warning first, but in all 3 cases, they refused to stop and officers cited them. Family members of loved ones at Huntersville Oaks are not pleased with the decision to move COVID-19 patients there. The facility said it has a separate wing dedicated to patients that have COVID-19, but one woman protested outside of the facility today, saying she doesn't think keeping infected patients in the building, even if there is a separate wing, is a safe idea.
The facility is here, so if they could fill the beds, that means they would have more money. But it's to the detriment of those who are already there. That's a vulnerable population.
That protester says the facility could have done a better job keeping family members and employees informed on what exactly their game plan is.